Namaste, y'all. This is Madame Rosa Fortune Teller, coming to you with a new video about the Book of Destiny, also known as the Atlantean Oracle. Now, according to Vedic scripture and revelation, Satyuga would begin at the advent of Krishna's rebirth on the earth. And so I am going to declare, being Radha of Radha Krishna, that this period began approximately 55 years ago. Now, I realize that I might get into hot water with the Vedic pundits who want to declare that Satyuga won't come for I don't know how many more thousands of years, and that there's too many indications that we're still in Kali Yuga. But what I am actually saying is that we're coming out of Kali Yuga and entering into Satyuga. Now, Satya actually means truth, and Yuga is an epoch or era of time, of which there are 4 in the Vedic system. Satyuga is a time where hidden things will be unveiled and the truth will be set free. And it's true. In these, the fullness of times, the seals in the book of Revelation are being unsealed. So let's go and talk about this ancient system of knowledge that we find in the little book of the 7 Thunders. This is an ancient system of knowledge that was begun in Lemuria, in Atlantis, and further developed in Egypt. Now I would like to read from the book of Revelations, section Revelations 10, verses 4, 10, and 11. And when the 7 thunders had uttered their voices, I was about to write, and I heard a voice saying unto me, Seal up those things uttered by the 7 thunders, and write them not. And I took a little book from the angel's hand, and devoured it. And to my taste it was as sweet as honey. But as soon as I devoured it, it became bitter unto my inside. And he said unto me, You must prophesy again before many people and nations and tongues and kings. From time immemorial, people have believed that a sacred text exists that holds a record of everyone's life from their birth until their death. And this was always kind of considered a fable, the fabled book of destiny, the fabled book of life, when in fact this book actually exists. This ancient oracle, this ancient system of knowledge was not to be revealed until such a time that humanity was ready for it, and that time was in the late 1800s. Only H. Richmond was approached by a mysterious gentleman who knew his birthday, called him by name, and invited a curious Olney Richmond to his home, where he was initiated into the Order of the Magi, which this gaunt, tall Frenchman explained to him he had learned the mysteries of while in India. In his first book, the Mystic Test Book, or The Magic of the Cards, Richmond reveals the true meaning of the playing cards. He reveals that the original cards may have been carved into ivory tablets and possibly even stone, and that they were used exclusively by the priests in the temples in Atlantis, until the system was relocated to ancient Egypt, where it was disguised with colorful pictures and given to the gypsies, the Egyptians, for safekeeping and to help preserve the human race. Richmond also reveals that the Order of the Magi was the star religion of the ancient Chaldeans. He said that this tradition existed 20,000 years before the birth of Christ, and that the three Magi of the Bible were members of this order, and that Christ himself became an initiate. Richmond held that the order had centers not only in Chaldea, but also in Egypt and Persia. And he also maintained that Pythagoras was a grand master of the order by way of the Egyptian temple. In spite of the fact that the playing cards and their symbology date back to ancient times, the actual nature of the system underwent a long period of obscurity. And the esoteric knowledge held therein was hidden and actually camouflaged into games in an effort to hide their secret teachings from the ruling church leaders. And yet it was also kept in our midst in a very comfortable way as games, so they became very familiar to us and were very comfortable with the playing cards. When people give me reviews as Madame Rosa, fortune teller, 5-star interpreter of the Book of Destiny, when they look back on their notes or listen to the audio recordings that they make during their readings, they say that everything happened as I said it would, and that the readings read almost like a roadmap after they, of course, lived their lives and then looked back. And that's pretty phenomenal. I do also want to state that a very phenomenal, excellent, and incredibly accurate psychic, who I'm going to be writing about in my book, told me that when this system was developed, I was there, and that I had a lifetime wherein I was assisting with the development of this system. When we look at the playing cards very closely, we can notice straight away that there were 7 planets in the known solar system at that time, and that is what is referenced with the name, the Book of the Seven Thunders. The cards are not thrown randomly as in a tarot deck. This is printed pages that do not alter, and they're derived from mathematical calculations based on people's birthdays. There's some astrology involved. Basically, this simple playing deck of cards is a solar calendar with energy patterns, cycles of energies that will help us maximize the benefits in our lives and to minimize the challenges, and I can advise you expertly using this system. Let me just point out that there are 52 weeks in a year. There are 52 cards in a deck. When you multiply 52 times 7, which are 7 days in the week, you get 364. When you add one more, you get 365. That one more would be the Joker. There are 12 court cards, the jacks, the queens, and the kings, representing the 12 months in the year. There are 13 court cards from the ace to the king, representing the 13 new moons and the 13 weeks in each season. Last but not least, each of the 4 suits represent one of the 4 seasons. The hearts represent the spring, the clubs, the summer, the diamonds, the fall, and the spades, which is the oldest, are the winter. I hope you will like and subscribe. I'm going to leave you with a quote from Olney Hawkins Richmond from the Order of the Magi, and I hope you will contact me, like, subscribe, and share. And I wish you the best of everything. I hope that you will also click on the little bell so that you can stay up on my offerings, which will be coming more rapidly as I am organizing my thoughts through this platform. It's helpful to me, and I hope that it's also helpful for you. God bless. Friends, I don't deny it. Science is the greatest foe the church has ever had. But spiritualism need not fear science. Science is nothing but demonstrated truth, and truth can hurt no true and good thing. The only thing a truth will not fit into is an untruth. Truth fits truth like the stones in the pyramid of Cheops, square and true, jointed like a fine piece of cabinet work. A three-cornered lie may be made to fit in for a time by plastering it well with the plaster of sophistry and the cement of ignorance, but as soon as investigation is made with the hammer of science, the cement loosens and the stone falls from its place, leaving a hole in the structure. The people we appeal to for our work are those who have advanced to a point where the ism they have hitherto professed does not seem to fill their hearts and souls. We do not ask any person to give up a single good or a single truth. Keep all you have and add all the good and all the true you can get thereunto. Namaste, y'all.